Finally, the new James Bond movie is here, and it's by the guys who did Skyfall as well, so it's totally gonna live up to that, right? 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 Spectre, the fourth Daniel Craig Bond movie, directed by Sam Mendes. After Skyfall came out a few years ago and was freaking awesome, there's a lot of hype for this new movie, Spectre. Was it going to be as good? Was it going to be even better? Was Christoph Waltz going to be awesome as the villain? And just kind of proves hype is a dangerous thing, because while it is still a good Bond movie, it doesn't totally live up. Basically, Spectre continues pretty much right after Skyfall. Bond ends up hunting down an evil organization led by a guy, played by Christoph Waltz, who happens to know a lot about Bond and his past, and might even be from his past. Ooh. But you know, it's a typical Bond movie. He does his Bond thing, he does his action stuff, and his sleeping with women stuff, and it's, you know, it's Bond. There is a lot of good stuff in this movie. First off, the opening scene is probably my favorite. It's in Mexico City, it's on the Day of the Dead. Just the costuming and the music and the vibe and the fact that the first shot is a continuous shot, which just always makes me very excited. So the movie starts off super duper strong and keeps the momentum going until it fizzles out a little bit towards the end. But sticking to the good stuff for now, the humor in this movie is actually pretty good. But just how he reacts to certain situations, just very good comedically, and also how he interacts with other supporting characters. Which leads into my other good point about this movie, is that I like how the supporting characters are used. You don't feel like anyone's really wasted. But probably the big supporting character who's used more is Q, Ben Shaw. He's even more adorable in this movie than in Skyfall, and gets to do more and interact more with Bond and the team in general. And I liked all of their dynamics. It was really good. Lea Seydoux plays the other Bond girl, but she's pretty much the main one, and she does a very good job. She kicks some ass in this movie. And you know, she does put Bond in his place a little bit in certain moments, so I like that. They had a good chemistry together. But then this leads me to the kind of not so great stuff in this movie, which is the pacing, mainly with how they introduce the villain of the movie, played by Christoph Waltz. Christoph Waltz himself does a great job with what he's given. You could tell he's having the time of his life playing a Bond villain, which you would have the time of your life because you're a freaking Bond villain. But in terms of the villain's backstory and his relation to Bond and how he's introduced and when he's introduced in the movie, it's just, you don't feel like you're given enough. I will compare to Skyfall for a second. Even though Javier Bardem's character Silva was also introduced kind of late into the movie, what the movie did so well was kind of keep him in it. So basically, Spectre is a fun time. I actually would see it again, but I highly recommend going back and watching Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace. I know, just rewatch it because it's kind of important. And then Skyfall, and then watch this movie. I'm gonna go back and do that and then rewatch Spectre. But yeah, well, Spectre is a good time, a fun time. It's still a Bond movie, and it's a good Bond movie. It is slightly disappointing because especially since it starts off so strong and then kind of fizzles out towards the end, and it kind of squanders its opportunity with having Christoph Waltz as a villain, but not utilizing him as much as they could have and should have. So because of that pretty big reason, I'm going to give Spectre a meh and a half. And if you guys have seen the movie, please let me know what you think about it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And definitely let me know how you think this ranks in the Bond movies, especially in the Daniel Craig Bond movies so far. Okay guys, that's it for me. I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you soon. Toodles!